I'm George Hutton with Mind Persuasion. You are watching video number 2 in your video training series on hypnotic copywriting. Slippery slope. The first basic strategy is the idea of a slippery slope. This metaphor describes the ideal sales letter. Little effort is required to get them from the headline to the buy button. If any reader feels any resistance, they will click off and never come back. It's no secret that attention spans are shorter than ever today. You may be familiar with the term wall of text. Before the internet, there was only paper with written words. If you were the type to read a daily newspaper, reading a few thousand words every day was common. You may have looked forward to the Sunday paper where you could relax and read in-depth articles. Today, when people see more than a few hundred words, their eyes glaze over. On many forums today, people are accustomed to see TL:(DR), which stands for too long, didn't read. People have been trained to look for summary sentences that explain longer paragraphs. This is what you are up against. Many easy steps. First, you'll need to create a compelling headline, then a compelling subheadline, then a compelling first paragraph. Each sentence should naturally lead into the next. Each word should lead into the next. The job of a world-class copywriter is to make each sentence so pleasing to read that the reader forgets about everything else. Each time they get to the end of a sentence, the only thing they want to do is read the next one. When they finally get to the bottom of the sales page, they are excited to click on that big fat buy button. They can't click on it fast enough. This is ideal. Hey, want to have sex? Think about seeing an attractive guy or girl. Now imagine walking right up to them and asking for sex straight up. What kind of success percentages do you think you'd expect? Probably pretty low. This is what it would feel like to your readers when they click on the headline and see nothing but a big fat buy button. If you asked enough people directly for sex, you would eventually get some takers. Maybe one out of a couple hundred, maybe more, maybe less. What's wrong with using this strategy? Getting people to read your sales letter is costly. If you made $50 for every sale and you had a very unslippery slope, it would be very hard to make money. On the other hand, if your slope was very slippery for a lot of people, you might be able to spend $1 per visitor. If your slope was extremely slippery, you might get one buyer for every 10 visitors. And if each sale got you $50, you'd need to spend $10 to make $50, a profit of $40 per sale. This is the huge ROI that would get you paid so much you could live anywhere you wanted. Put into the terms of having sex, how could you make this much easier? Start off by introducing yourself pleasantly. Create an interesting and compelling conversation. Exchange numbers. Go on a few dates, each date creating more and more attraction and romance. If you did this correctly, by the third or fourth date, sex would have a very high probability of happening. The strategy for the slippery slope is the same. Start off with a compelling headline. Ease them down the slope with interesting and compelling sentences that both entertain them and continue to pique their interest. Also necessary in this slippery slope is to overcome their objections, as they will have them. Self-destruction of objections. Very rarely do we buy things without thinking about them. We look at something and part of us wants to buy it, but another part of us isn't sure. If we eventually decide not to buy it, then the part of us that wasn't sure won. If we decide to buy it, then the part that does want to buy it won. One of the needed elements of the slippery slope is to understand that within every single person who reads your sales letter will really be two people, one who wants to buy it and one who doesn't. Unless you understand the reasons why they don't want to buy it and effectively help them overcome those reasons, they won't. We will learn many ways to do this. Cause, effect, chain. One powerful way that we'll learn to create the slippery slope is by embedding many cause-effect chains all the way down. The idea of cause and effect is embedded deeply into our brain. One way to make one sentence slip naturally into the next is to embed cause into one sentence and effect into the following sentence. We'll learn later that the idea of cause and effect is the most powerful yet least understood idea in both human nature and the nature of the universe itself. Any implied idea of cause-effect will have a very quick and hypnotic effect on your reader. Pacing and leading chain. We'll also learn how to pace and lead your reader. Pacing and leading is often thought of something done with body language. When you match somebody's body language, you are pacing them. When you move your body language slightly and they follow you, you are leading them. Any beginning salesperson knows that before you can start to sell, you must first pace your customer, and then you must lead your customer. We will learn how to do that with your words in a very powerful way. Ideal sales letter. The ideal sales letter will be as follows. The reader will see the headline and get excited or curious. Then they will read the subheadline and their curiosity and excitement will grow. The more they read, the more they will enjoy the process. The more they read, the more they will feel like you, the copywriter, knows them on a deep level. They will even start to think as they read your sales letter, wow, this guy really gets it. And when they get to the button at the bottom and see the price, the ideal response will be, really? Is that all? And they will eagerly click it. Sales funnels. You may have found yourself in some very compelling sales funnels. These are based on the same slippery slope idea. You buy something for $7 and then you are presented with another option for $27. We'll look into the specific details why this works and when to use this. With the ideas in this course, you'll be able to apply your new skills to single sales letters, email series, video transcripts, and sales funnels. All are based on the slippery slope. Read them again and again. Recall some particularly compelling sales letters you've read in the past. Sales letters that convinced you to buy something. Sales letters that you enjoyed reading even after you've purchased the product. These are the types of letters you'll learn how to write. Not just filled with persuasion technology, but the kinds of letters that evoke powerful emotions in your readers. I'm George Hutton with Mind Persuasion. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.